Hello everyone. So you'll have probably seen by now, by the time this video goes live, the devastating news to Newcastle United, and that is Sandro Tonali has admitted that he's been betting on football. Not only football, while he was playing at AC Milan, he was betting on that team. Now, details aren't officially announced whether he was betting for, against, anything like that, but the fact that it's now breaking news, the fact that he has bet not only on football, not only on Italian football, but for a team he was playing at, this changes the dynamics of absolutely everything. Now, if you've been following this news story, it's been a few days now, it's been almost drip-fed what we were getting. It was a case of the announcement that he'd been linked with betting, then it was a case of, oh, it was just on blackjack, poker, things like that. Then it was the case of he's been betting on illegal websites. Now, that's to do with the black market, a lot of different other stuff like that. Then there was rumours that it was football, and now it's come out today that it was the club that he was playing at. Now, we've been seeing it's between 1 and 3 years. That's what all the sources, all the news outlets are reporting on. 1 to 3 years, depending on the severity of exactly what's happened. Now it's come out that it's been betting on his own team while he's been playing. Is such a direct thing that he can now influence. It fetches the game into disrepute. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there can't be much worse in terms of betting that you can do. Firstly, all footballers will know you're not allowed to bet on any football and activity. More so because you know people directly involved in football. You'll know clubs, you'll know players, you'll have friends in the game. But to do it on your own team while they're playing, this is absolutely shocking. I honestly, now knowing this, would not be surprised if the book was thrown at him and it was a full 3-year ban, unfortunately. Obviously, as a Newcastle fan, you do not want this to happen, but he's fetched this pretty much all on himself. Now, if you think about it, you're going to analyse every single thing. Imagine if you were playing against this. If you instead of following Newcastle or whichever club you do support, if you don't follow Newcastle, and you were an opposition of one of this team, imagine if, we don't know exactly what he's bet on yet, so it's all speculation, but any of the things he could have bet on is ridiculous. Imagine if he had, say for instance, first goal scorer, and he could pass it to somebody else who's in a better position, but he's constantly passing it to this player. That's going to directly influence what the result of that game is going to be. Absolutely ridiculous. Say it was a number on, you can bet on everything nowadays on Sky Bet, all these other different betting companies. If it was throw-ins, number of corners, anything like that, it doesn't really matter. Everything that he's done now will be analysed to the nth degree. So much trouble could come from this. And going forward, I know his agent's kind of come out and he said that he's got a gambling problem. It's clear that he does have a gambling problem. He will have known this is wrong, and he still did it despite this. Now, when it's come out that he's got a gambling problem, it's obviously only come out afterwards. Could this just be almost PR spin just to try to reduce the ban, to reduce the kind of effects from this? Because he will know himself a lengthy ban is coming from this. By using this as a defence, if he has intentionally or unintentionally, if he does have a problem, not, he'll have known he's trying to reduce the impact of this, rightly or wrongly. There's nothing really much else you can do other than throw your hands up, because it's proven what he's done is wrong. The other questions that really come in, now you can follow us on social media, feel free to comment below on this video. We respond to almost every single comment that we receive. But a lot of people have been saying, surely Milan knew about this and surely we're entitled to some sort of refund or something like this. I want to just fetch up an example in the past. So if you remember Emmanuel Salah, now with him, he'd signed for Cardiff. It was a big money move for Cardiff. It was £13 million. He unfortunately lost his life. The plane that was taking him to there crashed after the contract was done. There was a legal battle that ensued afterwards, and it was thrown out basically. They tried to appeal Cardiff to try to get their money back, but once the deal was done, that was everything done. Now, the only grounds I can imagine that there is for any sort of refund or anything like that, or any sort of legal action, is if AC Milan knew about this before the transfer. Now, how could they know about it? It's obviously well hidden at the time. I wouldn't imagine it's something that he would have went to the club about. If it is and it turns out that that's the case in the coming weeks and months, I will be personally very surprised. But you can understand then why they were going to sell their star asset. So I can see why there's rumours and stuff about that. Now, if it's proven that they didn't know anything about this at all, they're not going to be in any wrong. It's literally just the normal transfer that they've done. They're going to have no recourse for any sort of legal action or anything you would imagine. So Newcastle could be stuck with this. And if it is, say it's a 1, say it's a 2, say it's a 3-year ban, personally for the player, he's going to miss out on the highlights of his career. He just signed for Newcastle. Obviously, we're moving to the stratosphere in terms of Newcastle, aiming to be one of the best clubs around. He's going to be missing out on that journey. It's yet to see what the club are actually going to do with this. Now, personally, you would imagine the club's going to support him, everything like that. They're going to try to see what they can do to try to reduce any sort of ban, hopefully try to put it into a fine, if possible, support him as much as possible. But what do you do while this investigation is ongoing? This probably needs investigating. It's going to take much longer than weeks, possibly months, you would imagine. They're going to have to look through all of his records, all of his messages, have access to everything, and see exactly just how deep this goes, how many bets were made, who else was involved. This is not going to be a couple of days or weeks. So if it is a few different months, obviously Newcastle, this season more than any other season, we need him. We need more experienced high-level bodies at Newcastle. He obviously brings a ton of Champions League experience. It's a crucial position as well, central midfield. This is where I'm kind of asking for you guys. What would you do in this position? If you were Eddie Howe, would you continue playing him? Would you assess that his head's not really in the right sort of mind frame for playing elite level football? Obviously, this is going to weigh on him a ton. This is going to be a possible loss of earnings, legal action potentially against him, because you'd imagine the club would have some sort of ground to sue him if you want to sue your own player. I'm not sure if that's a route that they would go down. But while we're saying AC Milan didn't know about this, the player himself will have 100% knew about this, still signed for Newcastle, signed whatever that was in the document, but knowing there was a dark cloud hanging over it, and if this did come to light, there would be a huge ban. So he's signed a long-term contract with Newcastle United, knowing this. There could be legal ramifications for him. Now, this could be jail, this could be fine, this could be, we don't know. It's all speculation at the moment until it kind of comes out, because we don't even know what the punishment is, let alone second-guessing what's going to come in the future. But none of this is going to be good for Newcastle. So like I say, Newcastle have some big matches coming up. They've got a match literally, I mean, as of recording, this is Wednesday today. You've got a match on Saturday. They'll be in the middle of preparations for that match. We do have a couple of injuries, Newcastle, with Willock and Joelinton both out. We'll see on Friday how close they are to full fitness, but you need as many bodies in as possible. We're in the middle of Champions League games as well as playing Premier League. Like I say, a ban like this has probably come at the worst season for Newcastle due to the increased matches that we'll be playing. But not just Champions League, we've also got a potential cup run. We just knocked out a Manchester club, got another Manchester club. That's more games for Newcastle United. This is absolutely horrendous news for Newcastle United season. So a lot is still up in the air, a lot still to be seen. But what I'm curious to know is, as fans, what do you guys think about this as well? How long do you think the ban will go for? What sort of action will come? Will it just be a fine? Will it be the full 3 years, a year? How do you see that going, and how do you see Newcastle United responding? Also as well, like I say, if you were Eddie Howe, put yourself in his shoes, would you start him this weekend? Would you continue to start him up until a ban? What's your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. Every single one of these is massively important for us as a new kind of growing channel. It is hugely appreciated. I know it only takes a second for you guys to do, but it is massively important for us as a channel. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe, all the usual stuff. We are just a kind of new growing channel. We've only been around a year, so every single thing that you do, whether it is a little like, a share, anything like that, I know it only takes a second, but it has huge implications for us as well, and how the videos do, how far we're able to grow, and exactly more content that we can bring to you guys as well. So don't forget to do all the regular stuff. Subscribe for all local videos, and thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.